Hello, my name is John.
And I'm Nikki, and we are the bosses next door.
What are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about becoming the person your goals require.
Right. Great quote that I don't have right, but it's like you don't become successful, then have good habits.
Fair.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that like when we first started, it's just like growing. We're just going. And then like you build like those calluses, you build knowledge, you build all that stuff, that repetition and time. Mm-hmm. Really like I don't think you can you can't correlate that together, right? People are like, I want to be successful now. And we see it, but I think that majority of people, it takes a long time before they have that big success. Yeah. It's because they're building their habits, they're building the new version of themselves. And either they realize it or they don't, or if they don't are not willing to change, they don't really maybe have the success that they need.
Yeah, and I don't think it's early on in the business. I think it's after some time where you've like made good contacts and networked and, grown yourself that you start to, it's part of the level up that we've talked about.
Absolutely right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, so we have our big goals don't require more work. They require a different version of you, right? So what got you to where you are now is not going to necessarily get you to where you need to go, right? And then you have to understand how to grow, communicate better, do all the things. And then as that progresses, like it helps you get to the next level. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people get stuck at a certain level. Mm-hmm. Like you hear a lot of people, they get stuck in that 2 to 3 million range, or they can't get to 1 million, or they just barely get to 1 million. They can't get over it because you have to change. You have to evolve as you go. Yeah. And if you don't evolve, then you're just doing the same over and over and over, right?
Right.
And so like you're just grinding yourself down versus like, okay, I've been here before. This is what needs to happen, or I need to change my outlook of what's happening, right? I have to offboard what I'm doing, hire the right people in to help, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can't do all of it.
Right.
And it's just changing your mindset. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Growth mindset. You have to want to be able to grow as a person, to keep learning and doing more things. Yeah. To keep your business successful.
Yeah, and if you're on like a hamster wheel or whatever, and you're just like burning yourself out because you're just repetition, the same thing over and over and over and over, you're not like, there's a difference between like a season, you call it a season, and like, man, just long hours, just long days, it just can be taxing. But if you're on a hamster wheel and you're just going round and round and round because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over, you just put yourself in a perpetual situation. Right. Versus like, hey, we're in this big season, but this is the goal we're getting to, and this is how we're going to get here. And you're reevaluating on a weekly, monthly basis. Mm-hmm. Are we hitting our targets? Are we not hitting our targets? What do we need to adjust to? Like, I think that is a huge part that people miss all the time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that more as we've grown. But I also think that we've experienced that too, right? We've run around chaotic, right? Or do you have a plan for the day? Are you putting out fires? Great, you put out fires, but like, are people so comfortable coming to you just to fix their problems versus having them, okay, but how do you figure that out? And pushing it back on them, right? Because we used to call it your monkeys.
Yeah, monkeys.
Yeah, hey, those aren't my monkeys.
Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah.
But I have a sticky note on my desk that says, are you bringing this to me because you want me to listen, you want me to give you feedback and do something with, or you just want advice? So it's like, okay, each time somebody's bringing me something, what do you want me to do with this, and how do you want me to handle it? Because I would love to give you some advice to help you be successful, but ultimately, I want you to dig in and try to figure it out.
Right.
But that comes with like growth and delegation, right? So there's things that I'm not doing anymore that don't bring me fires unless they're like extreme fires, because I have people in place now to handle those fires.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. But also it's like trust but verify, right? You got to make sure that things are being handled on a periodic basis. But yeah, you put the right people in place and you give them the opportunity. Like, people want to succeed. People aren't going out there like, oh, I just want to fail. Right. Right. But if you have to release some of that and you have to grow as a person, as a business owner, and you have to be able to be willing to let those things go. I think that is probably one of the hardest things for an entrepreneur, people that own companies, because you're like, oh, shoot, it's just faster for me to do it. Might be faster for you to do it now, but if you do it over and over and over versus like, look, I'm going to slow down, take me some time. I have to write this process out. I'm going to hand this off, make sure it's clear, and then, reinforce like if they're doing a good job, and then that task is off your plate forever or for whatever, right? And then you go on to the next thing. And I think that all too often people, I'll just handle it now.
Right. Or the people that hoard the information and don't want to share it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in that, because instead of you doing the job you're supposed to do, if a task is given to you and it's said, give it to the team, somebody else can do that for you. You still focus on your work, but you don't focus on your work, and then you're all in the rabbit hole of doing this task.
Yeah.
What's happening over here? And so you have to be able to delegate. We're dealing with this a little bit at Call Boss right now, because we have a bunch of new people since we went 24/7, and they're working overnight, but we don't have enough calls coming in at night right now. So they got a lot of downtime. And I'm like, my mindset, teach them more, because the more people that can do extra tasks, then what if 2 people are out sick and 1 got hurt and I only have 1 person left, but you know what? They were part of the nighttime crew. They learned these extra tasks.
That's right.
We've got a lot more hands that can help with everything.
Absolutely right. Yeah, it's like you can't be afraid to delegate, right?
Right.
But you're right. So you have to be careful. You're not hoarding everything as a owner, but you have to also be careful that the people you give it to can handle it, and they're not doing the same thing, right? Because they're they're the next level of stunting the growth. So I think there's some of those lessons. I think pulling yourself out, and just as this your like how you transform yourself. I think it's pulling yourself out, looking at yourself from the 10,000 foot level, right? Pull yourself out of the business and look at it from a different direction, and like really understand, like take your emotions out of it, your feelings out of it, which I think is hard for people. And like what
you used to so set me off when you would say that to me. Take your emotions out of it, and I was like, does he want to live today or not? Like, it used to make me so crazy.
Does it work?
I mean, yes, but
because
don't let it go to your head.
That's right. But I think that's like, if you step back and look at it, right? So like if we have somebody cancel with us or somebody's upset, I don't deal with those on a day-to-day basis. But when I see one and it catches my eye, like I want to know, like, okay, but why? Because you're going to hear one version, right? And you might see another version. But if you like look through it, there's a story that's being told.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, what do we learn from that? Oh, shoot, if we would have communicated better, if we would have done this a little bit better.
Did we do everything possible that we could have done?
Yep, absolutely right. And so that part, I think, is very, very interesting. Like, all too often, you get people who are like, oh, yeah, everything happened. And then you go talk to the customer, and the customer's like, no, this is actually what happened.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to kind of piece those two stories together.
Well, and then you got to investigate, right? And now it's taking all this time to go back through and just line up all the facts and say, okay, this is where the ball was dropped.
Yeah.
How do we fix it and make it better?
Right.
Like, we're not, at the end of the day, we're not going to be mad at people. We might be a little upset or disappointed in the behavior or the action that took place, but we're not going to stay in a mad season. It's let's figure it out. How do we fix it, move it forward, and then not have it repeat?
Is you talking about the customer? Or
I'm talking about both,
employee?
like more so the employee. So what happened, and how do I make it so that you don't make that mistake again?
Right. So I just went out to a job this morning. So we have a big contract for a bunch of small buildings, and there's a backflow that's broke, and we sent a newer tech out there to deal with it, and ultimately he just made the situation worse. Whatever, right?
He tried, but
he tried, right? So then we had to send another tech out. It was getting late. We can't get the part, whatever. So we made the call to their corporate office and kind of let them know what's going on. But I went out there to go deal with it, right? Because I wanted to know, like, what steps are we missing? Like, I didn't have to go out there. We had other guys that could go do it. So I went out there, dealt with the backflow, dealt with all that stuff, and I was like, okay. As soon as I pulled up, I was like, this is why. And I verified it because the tech that was out there yesterday, he came out today to help. And it's just really interesting, right? People always spin the conversation to make it that kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna get in
It
trouble.
wasn't that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get out there, you're like, oh my gosh, man. Like you used the wrong tool, you used this, or whatever.
Why didn't you ask if you didn't know?
Right.
I always come back to that. Like, what are we doing? If you just would have asked the question, wouldn't be upset.
Right.
You wouldn't be here.
Exactly. So now, like, I'll talk to everybody on our meeting, or irrigation guys on our meeting, like, hey, this is the steps we need to take. Mm-hmm. Right? Where did that get lost in translation? How do we fix that for the future?
Right.
Figuring that out, I think is going to be really important. Mm-hmm. Dealing with customers that it's a he said, she said thing, right? Going back to like, this is something, watch for patterns. If it's a one-off, it's a one-off. It happens over and over, it's a pattern, right? If you recognize the pattern and you realize where the source is coming from, then it's probably an issue, right?
Right.
And you need to deal with like, hey, like sorry only gets you so far. And
Right.
like, oh man, but this, that, and the other. Like, no, it's a pattern. We see it over and over and over. So you need to go and fix that pattern, disrupt it, mm-hmm. get it corrected, and then move on from there.
Right.
Fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sometimes it's hard. I think some people just do what they do. Like, I know my job. I know what I'm supposed to do. I do it, and then I move on to the next. But there are times when you need to be accountable for things. Mm-hmm. You need to track things. You need to set reminders for things. There needs to be some follow-up for things. You can't just do the one thing that you do and say, I did it. Hope it works out.
Yeah.
And like in the landscape world, right? It may be, I sell a job. The job gets scheduled. I need to get parts for the job. Like there's all these pieces that need to happen after a job is sold. And so we can't just say, I did my part, goes from there. You still want to follow up with the team. How'd that job go? Did we get everything done? Did we need more time? Right? But sometimes that doesn't happen because there's different people for different things. But we all need to work together to make sure it's one completed task or job.
Yeah, what I learned from this is coming from something that we just went through, right? So like the old me, mm-hmm. burn in there and just go fix the problem. The new me was like when I've already asked like the guy who's at the job up. I've gone through the kind of the steps of looking at it, right? And like, okay, mm-hmm. now we need to call the customer, right? And I'll make that call. Somebody will make that call, myself or whoever. And it's like, okay, it's a he said, she said. We're going to lose money on the job, essentially.
We are.
But it's like, how do we lose the least amount of money, and how do we show a safe face? Because not necessarily are bad, but doesn't sound like we structured that particular job out right. So we need to figure out a better way of like the process of it, right?
Right.
Again, old me would have just probably crashed out a little bit, and like, but whatever. But now it's like, okay. The bigger picture is just to solve the issue.
There's something missing in the process between step A to E, you know? And so, yeah, I agree with you.
So then I think that's like the season, right? So you get in these seasons, like these things come up. Are they agitators? They can be. Can they disrupt you from everything you're doing? Yes. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like it needs to be dealt with, right?
Right.
And so we need to take it and deal with it. It's kind of interesting because it's hot past management, like bounced right up to us.
Yeah.
And that part is like, damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now we know about it. So now it's getting fixed.
Right.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't happen a long time ago.
No.
It would have been right. Well, we would have probably been dealing with it immediately, but it's just, now you just got to figure it out, right? Because understanding, you bring the next person in for that position and you add more people to that position. If you figured out that first time and you're documenting it, now it's better for the second, third, fourth person that you're adding to the team.
Right.
So they all know, like, okay, this is the process of doing what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
more goals. There's like so many things that are happening this year. And because this year is so busy, there's a lot of these moments to step in and like, okay, we need to create a procedure for this because this is a new thing we're going to be doing from mm-hmm. here moving forward. Mm-hmm. So we got to work together closely to make sure we don't miss a beat.
Right.
And so we have a lot of that going on for different projects right now.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. Like our quality is really good. Like just the experience that we've had in growing, mentally and like the business, and like we are not the same people who we started.
No.
You look at, it's a direct reflection of how the business is ran, the people we have here, right? Mm-hmm. We've taken a big risk because we're taking on this huge customer, but like I think it's a very it's a pretty well calculated risk. And so it's like, you just got to make it through this little bit. But it's like, we wouldn't have done that before.
No. And there's a lot of people involved in it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more room for error.
Yeah. That's why there's just all this communication, right? Like trying to get it all refined. Yeah, never easy.
No.
Yep. So what do you think, like, what's the big one for you? Like, is there any moment that you're like, man, this is a big one, like, I would have done, like, this is how I've changed over time? Do you have anything like that?
I mean, yes. To get to the goals that we want to get to, we both had to change. I think I'm not a little more, I'm a lot more focused on what we need to do as owners. But as I've said in other podcasts, I'm also a lot more focused on what's going to help the team the most.
Yeah.
What leadership or direction can I give the team to ensure that they can get the tasks done, whatever it may be. Because I know I have a lot on my plate, especially with like 3 different companies right now. So not everything makes its way up to me or even you, but being able to, yes, this is what I need you to do and this is why I want you to do it. Then from there, when you have results, take it to this person, collab together and make that happen. Bring me back a result.
Yeah.
I do a lot more of that now than I did before.
Yeah. Well, because before you were just like, you were the yes person and kind of trying to fix everything. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I was that person. I can do it. Just give it to me. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
But I don't have time to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And so delegate and elevate, right? Trying to get people to be better, do better. But now I see it in leadership at our companies. Who can delegate and elevate and who gets stuck, right? In that example earlier, who's not watching what they're doing because now they're like, I got it. They're like, my precious, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to give, but it's like, no, you know the instruction, give it away, and then just check to make sure it's done completely right.
Yeah, and take on the next thing. But I think that's too, that's a great teaching moment for that person or people, right? Like, hey, great that you did whatever, but now you have to make it to us teachable for the next group, right?
Right. And own some reflection. If somebody's critiquing your work and showing you areas to improve, don't take that personally and get upset.
I know somebody who gets upset about that.
Resonate with it and make a change.
Yeah?
I don't get upset anymore.
Oh,
I only get upset when it comes from you.
Oh, got you. Yep. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think that is, like, it is very good, right? Like, you have to, there's a difference between being chaotic busy and then, like, being productive busy, right?
Right.
And chaotic busy drives me insane.
It happens a lot because I think some of the people we work with don't do well under extreme pressure. And so then they're like, oh my God, it's a 10. And we're like, no, that's like a 5 in our world, right? But to them.
Which company?
All of them.
Yeah.
This one, Little John's, right now, there are people that go, oh my God, it's a 10. And we're like, no, dude, we can
Well, it's
figure
a 10
this
on
out.
that particular person because they're being held accountable.
For multiple people here. It can be anything. And to them, they believe it's a crisis.
Yeah.
Not talking about the crisis today. That was not a crisis. It was just a, here's my card kind of situation.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I'm just saying, in the people that we work with, just because they feel like something's extreme, we've been in it 14 years, it's not extreme.
Right.
Or we're like, yeah, that's fine. We can handle it. Don't freak out. It's okay.
Yeah.
But as owners, you see that over time and you learn how to deal with situations.
Yeah. I mean, you come where I'm working, like, hair on fire, especially when I was still in the field, right? Like, oh my God.
When you were in the field, yeah, because it was like only me inside.
Yeah.
What am I telling this person? Because what are we doing to fix this?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, as you stack and layer, you know, like, I'm, like, really looking at what it looks like to almost remove ourselves, right? Remove ourselves, like, we're not in all the day-to-day as much. But, like, how do you remove yourself to, like, really be, you know, we're just, like, you touch in, you're checking your numbers, you're doing that kind of stuff, right? You're taking a pulse of the company. Because I think we have to go to the other companies and really focus on those. So it's like, what does that look like? How do we get there? What's the person or persons we need?
Right.
Like, I think there's a lot of that we're trying to figure out right now. I'm trying to figure out right now.
Right.
You know,
No,
I have a
get
pretty
it.
good game plan on how, but
Yeah, I get it.
but it's like we're getting like in the growth, right? Like you need the growth, and we have the growth right now, and it's just kind of wild.
Right. But we are evolving all the time to be the people we need to be to get to the goals we want.
Yeah.
And so I think even just the level of education, right, over the time that we've been in the businesses, the networking, the academy, the people we've met that have similar experiences and the ones that are just coming up and need our help.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of that shifts your mindset and changes the person you are.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it's been definitely for the good. And now we can see like where we need to go in order to be the people we need to be to hit the goal.
Yeah. Wild, huh?
I know, it's wild.
It is really wild.
Yeah.
It's wild because it's just like we're on this momentum, and it's like if this would have happened 5-6 years ago, we'd have crashed and burned probably.
Yeah, we would have just been like, nope, it's good. We don't need to grow. Just stop. We're fine. Stay
Yeah.
here. But we got to get to the goal.
We got to get to the goal.
We got to go through a little bit of chaotic busy to get to productive busy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens every day, but we don't want to be stuck in the chaos. We want to be in productive.
Right.
So,
It's super interesting because I think you're exactly right. You don't want to get stuck in the chaos, but you just have to be in the productive. Mm-hmm. And it's like that, try to do that every day. It's really, really interesting.
it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think a little bit of our problem is we're so accessible.
I know. Yeah.
And I think that sometimes you got to not be so accessible.
It helps when you have time blocking, right? Like we're time blocked for the podcast. Everybody knows they can't bother us for like hour and a half. We're getting stuff done. They have to figure it out or it waits till.
Yeah.
But typically they're like, I tried to do this and this is what I looked at. Is this okay? Perfect. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Like Little John's like really interesting right now. You kind of look at what's going on in the office and who's working really well, who's not, what speed bumps are in there. They all work together relatively well. Actually, they work together well. Mm-hmm. There's some different personalities, those kind of things. There's those challenges, but I think there's also some of that. It's good, but what can we do to elevate some of this? Like what's the other piece that needs to be brought in, or whatever that looks like.
Right.
And then you look at like Call Boss, which is answering 24 hours a day, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. Now we're making a big pitch to some of these plumbers and HVAC and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, how do we get that to come over to us because we can do those emergency calls at night? Mm-hmm. Like that is a huge difference for like we built this whole night shift just for basically those types of companies. Right. Emergency services, or somebody who just wants to give estimates 24 hours or whatever, which has made a huge difference in several companies because they've been able to, like, they're getting their estimates in the middle of the night, right? And it's like, it's pretty amazing.
It's been a huge game changer because a lot of the companies we answer for decided not to turn off their phones. It's not going to go to voicemail after hours because now it's 24/7 and they're just letting it ring. And a lot of people have been surprised at the amount of calls that have come in later in the day where people are still getting estimates and getting information or even just asking about next service. When is it happening? And they're calling at 8 and then people are like, oh, I didn't think anybody was going to answer. And we're like, yeah, we're here. How can we help you? You know, and it's been really good. And to give that feedback to the companies that didn't expect to have a return on that, they're like, wow, that's amazing. So,
I think it's been a surprise for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. We have a company up in Northern Arizona. They've had a call, I think one call every week on the weekend. And then and it's kind of crazy. It's like paid for the whole week of stuff. And he's like, dang, man, this is crazy, right? One phone call. Yeah. It was like, this is amazing. And he would have missed all those.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get them the next day from a voicemail that was left, which is typical. It's what we do. But now that the option's available, they're getting that bid and then they're either accepting or calling back the next day. And, Northern Arizona, they're really good at tracking. So they're looking at where all these things are taking place, times and who and all of that.
Yeah,
so.
It's super fascinating.
Yeah.
And so, but what the one thing has been very interesting is like, there's been some emergency services and people are like, can I have somebody out now? And we're like, oh, shoot. So now you reach out to the company like, oh, my God, I didn't think about that.
Right.
So they're like figuring that out But it's very, very interesting. It's been very interesting. The companies that have really taken off has been interesting because it's some of the stuff I didn't expect, but they're way busier than I was expecting as well on the days we were off or at night. And so I think that, I think if you own a business, that's something we probably underestimated a little bit.
I think so.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I agree.
Now it's a matter of let's get into these HVAC companies, the plumbing companies, they have emergency services. We can ask for them 24 hours. I think there's some stuff there that would be fantastic.
I think so too.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have anything else to add to it?
No, I think just be the person that your goals require. See what you can do to, again, here we are, level up to get to where you need to go.
Absolutely right. That's a good one. Leveling up. I think you need to really, where am I at? What is it going to take to get to the next level? Who are you watching that is in your industry or other industries that have leveled up already? What are their practices? What are they doing different? It's super fascinating. Jonas Olson and I will talk about there's people who have had success and then they start getting themselves into shape. But getting yourself in shape has typically a very positive outcome on your business too, because it requires discipline. It requires all these other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.